fucking have to, you see my arm at the beginning of each shot because I have to put my phone all the way over here. Why not just use a camera? Why not just be professional? Because I don't have time for that. I'll put effort into some of the videos, but some of them are gonna be phone. Alright. Shit out of here. Alright, let's talk about El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie. I really liked it. Because it was fan service and I got exactly what I would want out of it. I didn't go into this with high expectations at all. I think I was a little disappointed when it was done regardless because I don't know, there's just like a trust I have for Vince Gilligan with Breaking Bad being probably my favorite show, at least one of them, top 3 for sure. And then fucking Better Call Saul also being really good. I wouldn't put it as high up as Breaking Bad, but still a very good show and it does its own thing. So I have trust in Vince Gilligan. I think his attempts at making these movies come from a genuine place. He seems like a genuine person. I don't think it's a cash grab. I hear some people calling it a cash grab. I genuinely don't believe that. I think everyone in the cast talking about it, I think they all genuinely love it. They're just a little blind to it because it is really just a fan service movie and it's fine for what it is. I didn't hate it. I wanted a little more out of it, and we do spend a lot of time on flashbacks. I'm gonna get into spoilers right away. The Todd shit, I liked it, but it goes on for fucking ever and it really just feels like something that could have been part of an older episode. Like, it felt really weird seeing just so much of Jesse and Todd in a Breaking Bad movie. Like, out of all the characters that passed away, Todd is the one you're going to focus on this much. And I don't really think the only relevance that those huge scenes have is, one, to show you how horrible Jesse's life was while he was locked down there. And 2, just so you have a reason for the scene where he comes and takes the money. And really, pacing-wise, it's not that bad because everything they show, like as a flashback, does have some meaning, except, I think, for the close-in flashback with Walter White, but I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, aside from that, it's just like, I don't know, it's just spending a lot of time on shit just for such a small meaning. To me, this whole movie is so slow-paced because every single thing that they spend tons of time on has a minor payoff, like a really small payoff. And I think that there's even some weird things in the movie, too, that aren't, like, built up well at all. Like, the one, they have, like, a cowboy showdown at the end. Jesse and that one guy who steals the money with him, and they split it 3 ways. Like, he gets really aggressive and wants to do a fucking shootout out of nowhere. We had, like, aside from the fact that he's a criminal, nothing about this character, like, makes us think that he's about to go off the edge like this. We barely know him, and he doesn't show himself off as, like, a psychopath. Like, this would make sense a lot more for a character like Tuco, but this guy seems a lot more calm and collected. He's closer to a Gus than a Tuco. But yeah, like, maybe that's not true, actually. Gus is really professional. This guy's a little, he's better. He's not as off the rails Tuco, I guess. But he, yeah, it felt really weird to me. That entire scene where he's in there trying to get the money, that felt really weird and forced to me. It felt like they did that because they didn't have enough exciting shit in the movie, so they had to end on a scene like that. But where I see a lot of Tarantino movies do that, where it's like really slow paced, but they're building up to this really cool scene at the end, like The Hateful Eight does that, for example. I feel like this movie, it's just like that wasn't built up properly. They threw that in there because they needed it, just so there was something fun in the movie. Breaking Bad had a lot of slow scenes, and Better Call Saul is, like, a lot slower, but with both of those shows, every single time they're doing something slowly and building up to it, they always have a fucking payoff. In Season 4 of Better Call Saul, there was this scene between Mike and a character named Warner, and I won't spoil it just because, I'll spoil Breaking Bad all I want in this. Better Call Saul, there's a good chance people who've seen El Camino haven't seen Saul. But in that, there's a scene at the end of Season 4, anyone who's seen the show know what I'm talking about. I felt like Mike's entire arc of Season 4 was really slow and boring, and I was like, well, where is this going? Where is this going? And then it all, like, to me, it paid off, like, completely. It all made sense in that episode. It was so good in that episode, and it gave so much to the character, and it gave so much to the evolution of Mike. And it was wonderful. And it was wonderful with all this slow build-up because they properly built it up, and that impact, like, you felt the impact because of that. And then in El Camino, it really just felt like to me that, again, yeah, it's a cool scene. Sure, I liked it, but but they didn't build it up throughout the whole movie. In fact, it almost felt a little out of character for Jesse, I feel. But I'm gonna rewatch it, and maybe that opinion will change. I love seeing the scene with Walter. That was awesome. I like this interactions with Jesse and Todd. I like seeing Skinny Pete and Badger again, even though I gotta say they weren't amazing in this. Like their joking back and forth felt like it was like straight out of a Deadpool movie. They did not feel like themselves. They felt like they were a parody of themselves in this. They're very goofy characters, but yeah, I don't know about them in this one. Skinny Pete was a little better than Badger. Um, I liked the scene with Mike at the beginning of the movie, but I guess that could have played a good impact because it's just like a little opening scene, and Mike does say something like he can't put things right. That's the one thing you can never do, and that does kind of go well with Jesse. So that one I actually do think is a good scene, and not just complete fan service. Plus, it's just a small part at the opening. But yeah, as a whole, this isn't a great movie. It's good bonus content for Breaking Bad fans. It's incredibly well shot. It's fun to watch. I'm looking forward to watching it again. But as a movie, it really does not stand on its own at all. And like a lot of times when a movie's based off a show, it doesn't need to stand on its own, especially since a lot of movies based on shows do continue a storyline directly from the show, a storyline that's so big that it needs a movie. This is not a storyline that was so big that it needed a movie. This could have been like another episode of Breaking Bad. You could have had season 5 have 2 additional episodes, one with Jesse working with Todd and one with him like on the run, or you could have just extended the last episode. You literally could have extended the episode, the finale, by like 20 minutes and just show Jesse quickly getting in and out, and doing what he needed to do to escape, and then play that flashback scene with Walter and Jesse, just so you can end it with both the characters. That would have been fine too. Granted, I do love how they end Breaking Bad, the last episode, with just the shot of Walter on the ground. Yeah, I just think the movie's kind of a mess. Like it's good, it's enjoyable if you're a Breaking Bad fan, and I appreciate Vince Gilligan for making it. All the actors are great. It's incredibly well shot. I love the editing. It's a well crafted film, but it's a well crafted it's a well crafted something. It's weird to call it a movie because it just doesn't feel like a movie to me. It feels like never before seen Breaking Bad content. I think I'm kind of ripping off Critical right now in his review. I did just watch it before recording my own. The only thing with his review that I strongly disagree with is that this is a this is just a quick cash grab. I do believe it came from a genuine place. I trust Vince Gilligan. We'll see what he does after Better Call Saul. Like if he does another fucking Breaking Bad spinoff, then I might be ready to call him. Okay, let's settle down here. But this is the first thing that he's made that I even really am being critical about, because I love Better Call Saul and I love Breaking Bad. And he says and I did think, I think I read something saying that he wants to do something else after Better Call Saul, which is good. I would love to see what he does next, because he's definitely a talented guy, and my God, his directing, when it comes to cinematography, it's so good, and like it's really good in El Camino too, but it's just like, it's good without, I don't know, like, it's really well done, but nothing about it is like especially consistent. Like they throw all of these different kinds of crazy shots in, and it's really fun to look at. But I don't know if I would say that the movie has its own style. It just kind of like switches back and forth with what it's trying to do. But I appreciate the effort. I would call it a cash grab if it looked like shit. Clearly a lot of work went into this. Clearly the acting was really good. The only other problem I have with it is that, and this is a problem, okay, this is actually a problem with freaking Better Call Saul too. I guess not Breaking Bad, maybe Breaking Bad, I don't remember. Too many of the flashbacks. They really don't care that the actors look different when they do flashbacks. Like, Todd has gained a lot of weight, yet in the finale he's pretty thin, so that means he is like, if you add these scenes together, he's gaining weight and losing it and then gaining it back like crazy. Mike in Better Call Saul, like when they do flashbacks of him, it's ridiculous because he looks older in Better Call Saul than he does in Breaking Bad. The most hilarious thing in Better Call Saul is when they try to show Jimmy or Saul as a young man. There's a scene where there's this real, I don't want to say, it's too much of a spoiler, but there's just a scene that they show when he's younger. And I think he's supposed to be like in his 20s and 30s, and he just looks like an old man with his hair up or something. It's hilarious. And when they had Jesse When they had the flashback of Jesse and Mike, they both looked the appropriate age. They don't look much different than they did in the finale. But when they show Jesse and Walter at the restaurant, Jesse looked younger in those scenes. In the season 2, Jesse looked a lot younger in it, you can tell. So yeah, they don't really try to ever make them look younger. I feel like they kind of did with Jesse, but it just doesn't work. But it's kind of a nitpick. The actors got older and they wanted to do it anyway. Whatever. I'm glad we got this movie. I'm glad that we get the flashbacks in Better Call Saul. I'm looking forward to see how they end Better Call Saul, because I feel like that's going to be the true finale to all of this. At least I hope it is, because it is time to throw in the towel, Vince. Don't become a George Lucas. Don't George Lucas your work by carrying on and on and on and on. Granted, your prequel was a lot better than George Lucas's, but I like this movie a lot. It's just not really a good movie, or really even a good Breaking Bad movie. It's just kind of cool stuff merged into a movie that I like, but on its own doesn't work at all. At all. But yeah, I mean, I liked it. I said my problems with it. I liked it.